Hi, so happy to see you again on House News with me, Daddy Ramadan. In this episode, we'll present you the latest information coming from the House of Representatives of the Republic of Indonesia. But before we begin, let's see the headlines for today. BKSAP and philanthropic institutions organized the Asia-Pacific Conference for Palestine, strengthening humanitarian diplomacy and regional solidarity for Palestinian independence. During a visit from Croatian Foreign Minister, Commission 1 together with Interparliamentary Friendship Group discussed several strategic issues between the two countries. The long-standing debate over copyrights and music royalties is finally easing. The Legislation Committee has confirmed the revision of the copyright law to be completed this year. Commission 7 demands the government to restrict the import of foreign products. Such limits are needed to improve the competitiveness of national industries. Around 92% of Indonesia Arena's capacity was filled during the futsal match between Indonesia and Australia, setting a record as the futsal game with the highest attendance in Southeast Asia. During the recent Asia-Pacific Dialogue for Palestine in Jakarta, BKSAP highlighted the synergy between parliament, academics, and civil society in promoting justice for Palestine. These collaborations can provide research-based insight, making Palestinian issues more recognized and addressed.
BKSAP of the House, together with the People's Consultative Assembly, organized a collaborative forum with the Indonesian Ulema Council and the Palestine Research Center to strengthen support for Palestinian independence. Member of BKSAP of the House Mardani Alisera mentions, this event reflects the Parliament's commitment to building diplomacy based on research and cross-sector collaborations. Mardani hoped the outcomes of this forum can become a declarations for Indonesia at various international platforms, continuing to support for Palestinian independence.
DPR bisa menjadi tempat untuk melaksanakan event menunjukkan komitmen kita membantu Palestina. Terhadap produk dari keduanya, kami menyatakan siap untuk terus berkolaborasi dan tentu ini menjadi bahan masukan bagi kami dalam fora internasional untuk memasukkan klausul-klausul yang lebih rigid, spesifik, dan implementasinya kuat.
Meanwhile, the Deputy Speaker of the People's Consultative Assembly, Hidayat Nur Wahid, highlighted the importance of diplomacy based on data and scientific research. Amid the global spread of disinformations about the Palestinian conflict, academic research can be a strong foundation to develop an objective and balanced narrative in international forums.
Penting kan, karena dengan sesungguhnya kejahatan dan atau kebohongan yang dikembang Israel tidak harus dilawan dengan kejahatan yang lain, tapi dilawan dengan data, dengan fakta ilmiah, dengan rasionalitas, dan itulah yang selama ini dikerjakan oleh komunitas-komunitas yang membela Palestina. Bahkan itu yang dicontohkan oleh perlawanan Palestina, Gaza melalui Hamasnya memberikan bukti bahwa mereka jujur.
Adila and Christio, TVR Parlemen Report.
Commission 1 received a courtesy visit from the Croatian Foreign Minister as a way to strengthen bilateral relations between the two countries. Both sides explored opportunities for more cooperation across several strategic sectors, including defense and renewable energy.
Vice Chairperson of Commission 1 of the House, Budi Satrio Jiwandono, welcomed Croatia's commitment to strengthening cooperations with Indonesia across various sectors, including defense, agriculture, logistics, and investment. This brief meeting shows Croatia's commitment to Indonesia as a strategic partner in the Southeast Asian region, thus making bilateral relations between the two countries quite promising for further development.
Intinya kita sangat bahagia bahwa Indonesia semakin hari memang sangat-sangat diperhitungkan dan dipandang. Sangat besar juga harapan Kroasia mendatangkan hubungan investasi dagang yang lebih erat lagi bersama Indonesia. Kita melihat ini sebuah hubungan yang sangat baik, sangat dalam dan strategis, mengingat Kroasia salah satu negara Eropa dan juga pintu masuk ke Eropa secara geografis, secara logistik. Jadi ini bisa menjadi hubungan kerjasama yang sangat baik antara dua negara. Dan Menteri Luar Negeri tadi mengemukakan harapan pemerintah Kroasia terkait hubungannya dengan Indonesia ke depan, sektor-sektor strategis yang bisa dijadikan tempat kerjasama antara dua negara, itu jadi kami dari Komisi 1 maupun dari GKSP juga menyambut sangat baik.
In this meeting, Commission 1 and Inter-Parliamentary Friendship Group also discussed opportunities for cooperations in the halal business sectors, including the potential for exporting Indonesian halal products to Europe, particularly to Croatia and vice versa. Dodi Muharam, TVR Parlemen reports.
Royalty payments in cafes, hotels, and concerts often trigger disputes between copyright holders and businesses. The House emphasized the revision of the copyright law is focused on creating a fair balance between protecting creators' rights and supporting industry's advancement.
Member of the Legislation Committee Umbu Kabunang stated, the revisions of the copyright law provides clarity for the public. He hoped this revision would reflect fairness for all musicians, including singers and creators of regional songs.
Cara kita menentukan besaran royalti dari rekan-rekan kita yang di bidang industri atau asosiasi hotel, perhotelan, kafe, dan lain-lain, ini kita perlu dengarkan juga bagaimana masukan mereka tentang besaran royalti, cara pembagian, cara penarikan yang berkeadilan, yang juga mendukung, bukan sekadar kita mendukung hak daripada pencipta, produsen atau penyanyi, tapi kita mendukung juga perkembangan industri lain atau perkembangan ekonomi di Indonesia. Dalam hal ini baik itu di perhotelan, kafe, restoran dan lain-lain. Kita tidak melupakan juga bagaimana masyarakat menikmati lagu dengan baik.
Furthermore, the House proposed currently flexibility should be granted in the collections of royalties, while the new law is still being formulated. This approach is intended to ease the burden on businesses and prevent disputes during the transition period. Fajar Ilhami and Hilman, TVR Parlemen report.
After the break, we'll bring you more updates on the consumer protection law, so stay tuned on House News. Commission 7, through its Working Committee on Industrial Competitiveness, gathered input from industry associations to understand current sector conditions, including market mapping and competition at local global levels.
Chairperson of Commission 7 of the House Saleh Partawanan Daulay explained, one of the biggest complaints from industry players is the increase of cheap imported products flooding the Indonesian market, with some allegedly engaging in dumping practices. Therefore, Commission 7 will coordinate with relevant ministries and law enforcement authorities to take firm actions against illegal imports, including smuggling, while simultaneously strengthening oversight.
Jadi hasil panja ini kan tentu harus di follow up, dan nanti hasil-hasilnya itu tentu kita harapkan dapat meningkatkan daya saing industri kita. Apalagi tadi salah satu masalah yang saya kira semua dihadapi oleh asosiasi itu adalah banjir produk import dari luar negeri yang harganya jauh lebih murah dari harga produk dalam negeri.
Meanwhile, head of the Indonesian Exporters and Handicraft Producers Association, or ASEPI, mentioned, aside from the overwhelming presence of imported products, small and medium craft businesses are also hindered by funding challenges due to high raw material prices as well as high interest rates and bank loan. ASEPI hopes the government can provide stronger support, including improved access to financing, to facilitating international promotions for national handicraft products.
Coba UMKM dibanding luar negeri sama dalam negeri sangat jauh, sehingga kesulitan bersaing kita di Kalau di sekarang tantangan untuk persaingan itu antara lain dana. Itu dibantu.
Andini and Fajar, TVR Parlemen Report.
Commission 6 is working on the revised consumer protection law to address pricing, digital transaction, and more complex consumer behavior. The law aims to protect consumer rights and strengthen dispute resolution institutions and enhance stakeholder coordination.
In order to gather input from the Central Java provincial government and legal expert from Diponegoro University, Vice Chairperson of Commission 6 of the House Adi Satria Suryo Sulisto emphasized the revised consumer protection law will be designed to be fair and balanced, to protect consumer rights and provide space for business actors to innovate and compete healthily.
Tidak boleh berat sebelah, masukan dari konsumen, lembaga-lembaga yayasan yang peduli terhadap konsumen, tapi juga dari produsen, concern mereka apa? Pelaku usaha. Ya, ini semua tentu kita bikin sistemnya supaya seimbang, dan kami percaya kalau sistem ini bisa seimbang, konsumen terproteksi, terjaga haknya dengan baik, tapi produsen juga kan otomatis akan lebih menjaga kualitas dari jasa dan produknya, sehingga inovasi itu tidak berhenti. Inovasi akan terus berjalan. Jadi sesama produsen, sesama dunia bisnis itu berkompetisi secara sehat.
Commission 6 encourages wider public participations in revising the consumer protection law. This input is expected to help shape a more balanced and equitable trade ecosystem. From Semarang, Central Java, Reni Minariu, TVR Parlemen reports.
Oversight of the funds used to build the new capital city Nusantara will ensure public money is managed responsibly and transparently. Therefore, Commission 2 emphasized strict monitoring to keep every stage of development aligned with the targets set by the President.
Member of Commission 2 of the House Wahyudin Nur Ali pointed out the House continues to monitor the progress of the new capital Nusantara project, including ensuring funds are used according to needs. Wahyudin added, although several projects have made significant progress, the government must maintain consistent development until completions following the approved schedule and budget.
Kalau lawasan legislatif ini kan masih baru perancangan ya. Kemarin baru tanda tangan surat SPK-nya baru ditandatangani. Tadi kan baru kita resmikan itu. Oleh karena itu ya menurut saya karena target 2028 harus selesai semua, maka semua area yang ada yang menjadi perencanaan mesti harus kita dukung ya, supaya nanti tahun 2028 sudah tidak ada lagi alasan bahwa target yang dibebankan oleh Presiden nggak selesai hanya gara-gara faktor yang non-teknis tadi.
Commission 2 will review funding requests for the upcoming year as the Nusantara project nears its completion target. Until 2028, the government has allocated 48 trillion rupiah to complete the constructions of legislative, judicial, and government administrative buildings. From East Kalimantan, Slamet Sanjaya, TVR Parlemen reports.
More updates on sports after the break, only on House News. Indonesia's national futsal team made history by defeating Australia 3-1 in front of a record-breaking crowd of spectators at Indonesia Arena. This has set a new Southeast Asian attendance record for a futsal match.
The futsal match between the Indonesian national team and Australia held recently at Indonesia Arena in Jakarta drew more than 15,000 spectators. This made it the highest attendance ever recorded for a futsal match in Southeast Asia. Beyond breaking records, the match also showcased various public interests in futsal. Thousands of supporters came from different regions, with some even willing to queue from early morning to secure the best seats to witness the performance of the Garuda squad. Propelled by the roaring home crowd, the Garuda squad took an early lead and maintained their advantage throughout the match, overcoming the Australian side. On the court, the Indonesian national team played with great confidence and ended the match with a 3-1 victory. 2 goals were scored by Wendy Bryant with an additional goal from Reza Gunawan, securing the victory for the red and white team. Indonesian national futsal coach called this match a historic day for futsal in Indonesia. He described the game against Australia as a new milestone for the Indonesian futsal team, which played on a parquet court for the first time. The record-setting international friendly was complemented by the futsal series final, also held at Indonesia Arena. The event showcased Indonesia's rising enthusiasm for futsal, combining international competitions with youth-level championship to inspire the next generations of players.
Indonesian young rider Kiandra Ramadipa achieved a remarkable victory by winning the European Talent Cup Catalunya 2025 at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, Spain.
Kiandra Ramadipa has captured public attentions after delivering an outstanding performance in the European Talent Cup held at the Catalunya circuit in Barcelona. At this race, part of the prestigious FIM Junior GP World Championship, is known as a place for young riders from Europe and around the world. Despite beginning the race from 24th positions, which is the very back of the grid, the 16-year-old racer from Honda Asia Dream Racing Junior Team showcased an exceptional performance, overtaking his rivals one by one to cross the finish line first. He had the intensity peak during the last 4 laps when he engaged in a fierce duel with defending champion Carlos Cano. With his calm precisions and a smart use of slipstream advantage, Kiandra crossed the finish line ahead of Cano and successfully secured his victory. This triumph brought a significant shift in the standings. Kiandra has now risen to 3rd place with 129 points, and he is now strengthening his chance to compete for the title in the next round at Aragon, Spain. Born in Sleman, Yogyakarta on December 4, 2009, Kiandra has built an impressive track record from a young age. He has won multiple prestigious titles, including the Regional Mini GP Championship Indonesia in 2018, the Moto3 National Championship in 2022, and made his debut in the 2025 Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup. Now strengthened by his victory at the 2025 Catalunya, this achievement put Kiandra as one of Indonesia's brightest prospects to step into the Moto3 and MotoGP classes in the future.
Camel racing has officially been added as a sport at the 2025 Youth Asian Games in Bahrain. This decision was warmly received by countries in the Middle East, where the tradition of racing camel is deeply rooted in cultural life.
Exciting news comes from the Asian sports world as camel racing has been officially added as a competition sport at the 2025 Asian Youth Games in Bahrain. As the host, Bahrain has prepared international standard camel racing facilities. Complete with a dedicated track and training areas, the inclusion of this sport has been welcomed enthusiastically by Middle Eastern countries, with a long history in camel racing. camel racing has deep historical roots in the Arab regions. In the past, camels were used as the primary mode of transportations in the desert, and their agility and speed eventually began to be contested, evolving into a tradition passed down to generations. Not only Bahrain, Indonesia has also made history with its debut in camel racing. Muhammad Al-Fatih Abdillah became the first representative in the sport. He competed in the 500-meter sprint race at Equestrian Endurance Village, competed against 16 top young camel racers across Asia. Despite undergoing only 12 days of intensive training in Abu Dhabi, he finished 11th with a time of 1 minute and 6 seconds. He admitted he had not fully bonded with the camel provided by the organizers due to limited adaptation time. Indonesian camel racing team coach Wahyu Setiawan described the result as an important milestone for the development of this new sport in the country. They plan to participate in other events and advance training in the Middle East. The race, held under the scorching desert heat, was still dominated by Middle Eastern athletes. Two representatives from the United Arab Emirates finished first and second, with a time of 45 seconds, followed by Saudi Arabia athletes at 48 seconds.
And that's the House News for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of House News, only on TVR Parlemen.